We are following this breaking news, startling new revelations about when and what President Trump allegedly knew about the coronavirus. According to a new book by Bob Woodward, the president knew of the dangers of the coronavirus weeks before the first death in the U.S. And instead of warning the American people, the president decided to play the virus down. Woodward recorded two separate conversations he had with the president for the book, one from February, the other from March. Here's some of what the president told him as obtained by CNN.
It goes through air, Bob. That's always tougher than the touch. You know, the touch, you don't have to touch things, right? But the air, you just breathe the air, and that's how it's passed. And so that's a very tricky one. That's a very delicate one. It's also more deadly than your strenuous flus. This is more deadly. This is 5 per, this is 5% versus 1% and less than 1%, so this is deadly stuff. Well, I think, Bob, really, to be honest with you.
Sure, I want you to.
I wanted to always play it down. I still like playing it down.
Yes,
because I don't want to create a panic.
Bob Woodward will appear on 60 Minutes this Sunday, September 13th, for his first interview about the revelations in his latest book. And you can watch that Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on CBS. And Paula Reed joins us now from the White House. Paula, welcome. You asked White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany about the Woodward quotes. What did she have to say?
Well, the question for the White House is whether the president intentionally misled the American public about the threat of COVID. This is a pandemic that has now taken the lives of nearly 200,000 Americans, and it appears, based on these recordings, that the president was deliberately downplaying this. Now, the White House press secretary insisted that the president has not lied to the American people. We followed up several times. She insists that he was just trying to keep the calm. It is unclear, though, how distorting the facts that he was receiving from his health advisors, distorting the facts that he, according to these interviews, were receiving from his national security advisors. It is unclear how that was supposed to lead to calm.
And when you set these comments of the president up and compare them with what he said publicly about the virus, how do they compare?
That's right. Back in February, he's apparently telling Woodward that this is more deadly than the flu, even though around that time he was tweeting that it was actually under control and that it was not worse than the flu. And it took him about a month and a half before he declared a national emergency. Once again, the first interview that I'm referring to here happened in early February. It continues to appear that February is sort of a lost month when it comes to the Trump administration's response to COVID. I've asked the president, I've asked administration officials, what did you do in the month of February? And it appears, even though the president was being clearly told by his advisors that this was a deadly threat, one of the biggest challenges he was going to face, that the administration did not take any real concrete action during the month of February and continue to, in the president's own words, play it down.
Paula Reed, thank you for giving us some background on these new revelations in Woodward's book. We really appreciate it.